Hello, friends, and welcome to New Gameplay Today. I am Alex Stadnick, and I am joined by the King of Late Night, the Pride of Milwaukee, John Carson. Hello, sir.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks, indeed. Man, I thought Giannis had it, and then he cooled off.
You know, when Drew Holiday's not exactly helping out as much as he should, then
and Chris Middleton's gone.
Yeah, Middleton's gone. Anyways, we're not here to talk basketball.
No.
We're here to talk about a little fighting game that's coming out called MultiVersus, which isn't all that little. It's some of the biggest properties that are in the Warner Brothers catalog are coming together to compete in a Smash Brothers style competition. Everything in this game is built around 2v2 combat, so teams are encouraged, and characters are built around that team function. So,
okay. John, I want to take you through a role-playing exercise for this, if you will.
Please, I will put on my wizard's hat.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play the role of guy who is cynical about battle passes,
sure,
and free to play, right? Okay, here we go. Oh man, this looks cool, but I don't like the free to play elements. Why is that a good thing?
Well, sir, let's check your privilege a little bit here. Free to play allows more people to potentially try out the game and get in the door rather than spending $40 to $60 on a game that they might not like.
Okay.
It's something that I've wanted to see more of from fighting games recently, and I think some of the bigger players should play around with free to play aspects of, I don't know, like maybe make everything free to play and like let people buy the characters that they choose or play enough to purchase their characters. I think it just helps with the longevity of the game, and that seems to be what MultiVersus is going for. They have a battle pass structure where you could buy into leveling up your battle pass and getting cosmetic rewards. Okay. Basically, everything that you would pay for in this game is purely cosmetic. Anything that has any gameplay ramifications can be unlocked by playing the game.
Cool. So it's not pay to win.
Correct. Yes.
Which is great.
I just got that word directly from the director of this game.
Oh, very nice. And so I think this gameplay has highlighted a couple interesting things, right? You see the dog character, right? He's new. He's a new property to this, right?
Yeah, that's Reiner Dog. Excuse me, it's Rain Dog. It's a reindeer dog. It's Reiner's dog.
Yeah.
And Rain Dog is a support character. Most of Rain Dog's attacks and abilities help out your partner. So he has a tether that you see him attaching to Steven Universe that can Steven can take more dangerous attacks off the side of the stage, and Rain Dog can tether him back in.
For sure,
which is neat.
Yeah. So, and we've switched over here now. We're seeing Arya handle my Taz pretty well here. But did you get to play any 1v1?
I did. I mostly played 1v1 actually,
nice.
Just to kind of get used to the characters that I was playing as. Played a lot of Superman. Played some Jake and Taz. Actually, was one of my main characters as well.
Cool.
It works well in 1v1. I feel like a lot of characters are probably gonna be geared towards the multiplayer, the 2v2 modes. But I'm interested to see how that actually plays out.
Right. Yeah, and I think this highlights here too. Like it's hard to launch people in this game because I think there's kind of a slowness to the combat, like John said in our podcast episode this week too. Where it's that took me a while to get knocked off, and I don't think Taz is an especially heavy character, right? So it's definitely it is definitely an adjustment if you're coming into this thinking this is just Smash Bros. Light, right? It is and it isn't, and I think that's one of the things I do like about it is you see the salt shaker over her head right now. That's like Taz's special ability, and if you did enough damage with that, what'd you say happens? I never saw it.
Oh, they turn into a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
And they walk around as like a cooked chicken. And I believe they get like reduced mobility options because I've definitely knocked some people off the side. And they could not recover.
For sure.
Yeah.
And now we're moving on to 2v2 again, and I have Shaggy with his Shaggy with the swaggy cosmetic change there. He's in his battle pass outfit that I unlocked while playing. Yeah.
How do you feel about the properties that they've put in this so far? Like we have Scooby-Doo characters, we have DC characters, we have Cartoon Network characters from Steven Universe and Adventure Time and whatnot. How are you feeling about that group of
It's
characters?
equally whimsical and exciting because there's a lot of characters that I, grew up with, right? But also feels not dystopian. That's not the right word, but like it just kind of tiring in the age of meta in the multiverse, right? I know I am a bit cynical when it comes to like the everyone's here when it's not done in a pure way like Smash Bros. But it is cool. Right. It is cool. Like it is. You can tell that the dev team paid attention to the histories of these characters, right? And from voice acting, which was absent in something like Nick All-Stars Brawl or whatever, to some of their move sets, right? Like there's an attention to detail that I really appreciate here.
Yeah.
Like we have a little bit more in-depth conversation on the podcast this week, like I said, but like it feels like backwards a little bit from how Smash does it, right? Where it feels like Smash is a celebration of the histories here and like in a learning experience where it's like, this is like all of our active properties that we want you to buy toys of, right? And I think that's a little cynical on my part, but like, I think playing them though, I feel pretty I enjoy the move sets for the most part, right? I think there's some tinkering that needs to be done with that feeling of maybe not a little inconsistency, right, on when people are going to go flying off the map, like, or maybe that's just I need to play it more to get an understanding of. But like Shaggy was one of my weirdly one of my favorite characters. I liked his speed. I felt like he was agile and had a decent amount of power, especially with his side attack, because for those who don't know, right, this is in that category of the arcade brawler, like platform brawler that Smash popularized. And you have side special moves, you have neutral attacks, like that kind of stuff, and I think it feels a little sluggish, but it still feels good. I don't know, what do you think of the combat so far?
Yeah, I think it feels mostly good to me right now. Kind of depends on the character because everyone is very different. But I feel like it's missing a little bit of impact that Smash has. Like, if you connect like a really charged up Smash attack, like everything freezes for a second, and then you get that satisfying blast of that character off to the side of the screen. Like some of that's kind of missing in here.
Yeah.
But as for like how the characters play, I think that there's like everyone's very unique, and if you look at like Velma here, talking with Tony Wynn, the director, he was saying that every character that they want to put into the game has to have a like a purpose or like a gameplay purpose, and has to be like unique in some way and support a special type of gameplay. So Velma doesn't have any actual physical attacks. Like everything is like word bubbles and and light bulbs and using her flashlight. And she's kind of like Professor Layton, Phoenix Wright in the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Oh, interesting.
Where she's like gathering clues and dealing damage with like word bubbles and stuff. She seems very obtuse, and I haven't really had a solid chance to like play as her yet. But it's a fun concept for a character that is very unlike any other character. And if you look at like the moves that Jake is using, it's very Jake the dog. He's transforming and stretching and using a skateboard, and Batman's using his different like, gadgets and his grappling hook and whatnot. And
and I do want to point out too, while this is a good opportunity, right? You see we talked about Taz's ability, right? But did you see, viewers, you can see like Jake right now has like weakened on, right? Or freezing, right? So the one thing that I really like that it's doing to differentiate itself from something like Smash or Nick All-Stars, right, is you do have to pay closer attention to some of those in-game effects more so than I feel like we're in something like Smash, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you get hit, if you have a weakened symbol above your head and you get hit a certain amount of times and that fills up, you're going to take more damage. Or if you have like, or you can be set on fire to take like, you know, consistent damage and stuff. So that is an interesting walk in this too that I do appreciate, and I think could make for some interesting battles. So
yeah, I think that there's some interesting UI elements too, like not only those icons that'll pop up for like different debuffs and buffs, but having like your damage number hanging out like right underneath your character. Like at first blush is distracting, right? But I think having those numbers like with your character at any given time during a match is very helpful, because you're not taking your eye off of where your character is, and you can easily read like what your damage is at, or like what your opponent is at that's like right next to you. Instead of having to look at like different corners of the screen. It's something that I really like, actually.
For sure. So who is your favorite characters thus far?
I've been really into Superman, actually, which I'm
really
very surprised. And there's little things that I'm learning about him more and more. Like I'm starting to utilize like his cold breath more, which I still don't understand how effective it's supposed to be, but I just like getting in there with Superman and punching some things and knocking people into the air. And his up special is a command grab that will just toss the opponent like directly up. So I'll just knock people up in the air, get them close to like the ring out, and just toss them right over the barrier.
Nice.
It's very fun and satisfying. Otherwise, Taz has been kind of my other go-to, and he's just a whirling dervish. He'll spin into everything and salt and pepper up his opponents, and next thing you know it, they're dead. They are off screen. You have taken a stock from them. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How about you?
For me, it's been Harley Quinn. She is an agile force who has a really strong down smash that feels good, or down A or whatever it is in this game. I need to untrain my brain from Smash terms in this. But I've enjoyed the characters who feel agile but also can pack a punch, and I think Batman is a great example of that. Like we saw in the last footage, he can jump around and he has a really nice up. Like I've been using the right stick a lot for like my neutral attacks, right?
Yeah.
And I really like his combos through that, because he has a little bit more power and he can make up ground really quickly with either the Batarang or the his grapple, basically.
Grapple?
Yeah. So those are the people I felt most powerful with. I would say Shaggy's great too. I didn't love Wonder Woman when I played her. And then who else? I think those are my big three that I really enjoyed. But I think there's like Bugs has some interesting movesets. I think each character in like John said has some really interesting stuff they're doing. But before we say goodbye, I wanted to show off the battle pass and that kind of stuff, and some of the unlockables you can get. Obviously, Shaggy his costume was the big first thing. I do love for all the smack I'm talking about, some of the collectibles and the battle pass and stuff like that. I think some of these are great. Like I love that you can customize the ring outs. Yes. Especially with the Porky Pig. That's all, folks. I think
that's what I use. It's so
ultimate good. Flex. I think that is so great. So like it's hard because I'm taking, when I talk about the negatives of this game, I'm taking to task basically the industry trend at large of the battle passes and challenges and that kind of stuff. So I don't want to hold that too hard against the game, because I think some of the stuff you can unlock is great. So I don't know. How about you?
And I like how much there is to unlock. You have your battle pass, which will basically be unlocked by different tasks that you complete in battles, and usually there's like 6 main ones per day, and then you have like a monthly or like a seasonal group of missions that will go towards that battle pass. And there's always, it feels like there's always something to be working towards, and not only the battle pass, but like every character has their own progression tree too that'll unlock perks that you can equip to them to change up your gameplay style a bit. Like perks will I think you can equip 3 different perks per character, and have like a major perk change that'll change like one of your special moves up a bit. But those perks will give you like an extra jump, so you could do like a triple jump instead of a double jump. More damage if you're on the ground, or a faster attack speed. But it won't be just for your character; it could be for your team. So you can build your characters in different ways. All those perks are all unlockable by playing the game and not by paying money, which I think goes a long way to alleviate some people's pain points on the free-to-play nature of games. But you do need to actually put time into a character to unlock that kind of stuff.
Right. So, and I'm curious to see how they balance that. That's something I'm like, they've done a good job so far in the alpha too, but I'm anxious, like, let's say Tony Soprano's the next unlock, right? Like, is he super overpowered, and then does it take...
on this Tony Soprano thing?
He's like one of the main WB people I can really think of off the top of my head. So
Jake Adelstein from Tokyo Vice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sato, can you tell what I've been watching the last couple of days?
And I guess that's my anxiety point too, is like, if he's an OP character, right, and other people have spent a ton more time in it and can buy him instantly, is that going to take away from my fun? It shouldn't, because I felt like the coins were rewarded pretty quickly. So, that's all to say. I think I've gone from a place of I don't want to play this game because I don't love the idea of it, to now I'm like, okay, as a Smash fan, I am interested. I think there's some good bones here that I'm excited to try out more. John, any final thoughts?
I think what we should mainly take out of this alpha is like how the game plays and how the characters are, and the free to play stuff is, I'd say we should probably judge that more as the game gets closer to release. We don't have a release date yet. And speaking with Tony from the MultiVersus team and the WBPR, they don't have a release date that they could talk about yet. But there is an open beta that's happening in July, starting in July, that people can get in on. But also the closed alpha is still taking you can still sign up for the closed alpha on multiversus.com. So if this is something that you want to try, they might be sending out more keys and codes in the next week or so.
Cool. And what platforms can people play it on?
You can play it on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, and PC. And it's all cross play and cross progression.
We love a good cross progression. That's awesome.
That's everything's tied to your WB account. So
cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, John, thank you so much. If viewers, if you want to learn more about MultiVersus, John has an awesome preview that you can check out at GameInformer.com. We also have a couple other videos just highlighting some of the specific characters without our beautiful voices over them. So check that out as well. Thank you. Be good to one another, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Later.